Sasha Martinengo.
Storming down the pit lane.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time. On balls.co.za.
Waiting. Well, it is just about August time, and it is time for the annual Cannonball Run. So joining us on Gears, Ross Crichton, the man behind it, been behind how many years now?
This is our 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary of the Cannonball Run. I've got to be honest, I was very privileged a couple of years back, myself and Gary Formato were invited to take part in the Cannonball Run, and what a jawl it was. It was something incredible, and it's just getting bigger and better, Ross.
It is indeed. I mean, to think that the round table started back in 2003, we had 19 cars, one day, one night.
Yeah.
We now got 43 cars this year, 4 days, 4 nights, and we're even running out of Cape Town and KZN different times of the year. So yeah, fantastic.
I mean, that's incredible. And I suppose those 43 are 43 that you can manage. Or I mean, if you had more, would you have put more in, or did you stop it there?
To be honest with you, 43 cars is kind of optimum.
It's massive.
50 is the maximum. I don't like to go to 50. We have done in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But I think with the extension of the 4-day, one extra day just for the 10-year anniversary, we got the optimum number, which is 43, which I'm quite happy about.
Now, the amazing thing is, I mean, we'll go through some of the cars that are going to be there, but one of the highlights, if not the highlight, has got to be the Lamborghini Aventador.
Yeah, I think there's only about 4 or 5 in the country.
Yeah.
It was delivered to my mate Greg just before Top Gear.
I know.
And I mean, he got it the day before we went on the tour. We had 105 cars down to Top Gear, and he then took that car out and gave it to the Stig to put around the track.
I know.
It's just mental.
That's great for you.
Absolutely. So we got Greg coming in his Aventador, which we were very stoked about. And then we got probably over 20 odd Porsches. We got another Gallardo coming. We have a Ferrari California.
Stunning.
We have the new Camaro. The
Bumblebee. Okay, yeah.
We got him coming. Yeah, so very excited. Not to say that you can't come in any other car.
I was just going to bring that up here, because just don't think that the Cannonball Run is about supercars. Because when Gary and I did the Cannonball Run, there was a guy in a Mercedes Vito.
Yeah.
Then there were other people just in like a 120 diesel or 320 diesel. Anybody can go on the Cannonball Run. This is not a speed race.
No. There's absolutely no speed A to B, point A to point B, but obviously we do create sporting events. The roundtablers who own the event came up with the idea that we needed to look after all types of motoring enthusiasts. In other words, the guys who want to come in their exotic cars and really give it a blitz in controlled environments. And then the other aspect is the cryptic clue-based amazing race kind of aspect in between, which you can come. I mean, the year you were there was a guy in a Hyundai Getz.
That's right.
Yeah.
Daisy, you could go in your Polo.
Sounds good.
Is it pink?
Yeah, you could go in the Polo. Now, without giving too much away, just to give you an idea about the Cannonball Run, en route you have, as you say, this like amazing race kind of thing. Okay, where as drivers you get like a book and you have to try and figure out clues and go and find various kind of things. Correct. And I assume that's very much the same.
Same as usual.
Now listen, I'm sure Ross won't tell us where they're going, because that's all part of the fun. But wherever it gets going, because we'll talk to Ross when they're en route and find out exactly where they are or whatever, and try and get you to go and see there. All I can tell you, whichever city it's going to be, or province or whatever of South Africa, Greg in the Lamborghini Aventador, he's not interested in the clues.
No.
When we were there, he was in his Nissan GTR, and we were in a GTR as well. And Gary and I were studiously trying to, okay, well, I think stop there or drive there or this, that, and whatever. And all we saw was Greg coming past us, going one way, then flying past us, going the other way, then on the other way. And we sat there and went, either he's lost or he's really loving driving his car.
Well, I think it was the latter. Now, Sash, now you're not telling the whole full story now.
I think that's the story I remember.
I remember having a meeting with you and Gary before the event in 2010, and you saying to me, what the hell's this nonsense about all these clues and stuff? I don't want to do all this stuff. I just want to drive fast. Of course, you and Gary did very well in the sporting events.
No, we did, because Gary was driving. That's why.
There was only one particular morning, and I believe it was the second morning where Gary finished about 10th that morning, and it had something to do with the fact that you nearly upchucked in your mouth, and there was all sorts. There was a very heavy night the night before, I seem to remember.
I think
The truth's coming out.
no, I think what had actually happened was Gary and I were stuck in our hotel room reading through the clue book, because that's how studious we were. We were working so hard to try and figure out, and we didn't manage to get much sleep, and we were just overtired.
That's
Ross.
an outright lie, because I was out with you that night, and we got absolutely hammered.
Yeah, no, we had a bit of a big one.
Sash, I think one of the things one has to know about the Cannonball Run is that because the round tablers wanted to create an event where it would cover for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a case of we try not to get you guys going until like 5-6 o'clock at night. Get
Exactly.
you into the pub at 3 in the afternoon. You're sitting around the pub going, "Oh, did you get that clue? Oh no, that's not the answer." And the camaraderie and stuff, I think, around it is what makes it as well.
You're 100% right. I mean, it is one of the. It was a spectacular time that we had. The people on it, Ross. I must compliment you on sifting through hundreds and hundreds of people over the years.
Yeah.
And it's a great bunch of guys and girls that come along, all in the spirit of fun. Very competitive, got to be honest. It does get very competitive. There are a couple of people you don't want to get on the wrong side of. I'm
I
sure
won't
they're
mention
gonna,
any
no,
names.
I won't mention any names or vehicles, but I'm sure they're going to be part of it. But I think it also adds to it as well, because as much fun as you want to have, there are prizes at the end, and I mean, you crown the Cannonball Run champion, which is it's a hell of a nice thing to win.
And it's also a hell of a fun seeing you and Gary in a 60s outfit. Or was it
dressed up.
Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Baby.
Although Gary looked like Bruno.
He did a bit.
He didn't look like
You
Bruno.
know, in my country.
Yeah, he looked a
well,
bit
that's
like Bruno.
Borat, but he's distant cousin.
His distant cousin. He looked a little bit like Bruno. So I mean, the great thing also about it, Ross, is that there will be a starting point, and from there, no one really knows where you're going.
No, well, that's the beauty of it. You actually, on the morning of the event, which after the briefing the night before, you absolutely have no idea where you're staying. You've paid all this money, and you get a clue book. And your clue book only takes you as far as maybe the next 30 Ks.
Yeah.
So you absolutely have no idea where you're going. So, and I always tell people it's within a 400 to 450 kilometer radius of Johannesburg. But we've finished in Potchefstroom, Nelspruit, Warm Baths, some of the most obscure places ever. And I think some of the guys love the fact that they go to places they've never been to before.
Correct.
You know, you would never get in your car and go, "Hey, I've got a good idea. Let's go about 100 Ks past Warm Baths and see what's out there." No. But there's some cool things out there, and we try to make it exciting for everybody.
It must be quite, number one, a challenge, but also exciting to recce the route before and prep it and try and figure out, okay, what is going to make the guys and girls really enjoy it.
Yeah, 10 years ago, that was real fun.
Not so much anymore.
I tell you, I've just actually finished. I've actually just this afternoon finished the clues.
Okay.
And it goes to print this afternoon. And I was trying to work it out. We have done 10 Africa events, so we've done 10 route plannings.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, you've got to do a route checking afterwards as well. So you do 3 days of route planning, and then you do another 3 days of route checking. So double that up. That's 20 trips. Then we had the bright idea we were going to do a trip down to Cape Town, which we never actually ended up doing. So that's an extra trip. And then we've got one Cape event and 2 KZN events.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're putting up there at about 25 trips that we've done before the guys actually get in the cars and do anything.
Yeah.
That's
so heavy stuff.
It is heavy stuff, but it is good fun. I mean, we've got the route convener Paul Roux, who can tell a yarn like nobody's business.
Yeah.
In fact, there's very little truth that ever comes out of his mouth. So that's always good fun. And it's always good to get a new guy on the thing who's never done it before. And he goes, "Well, why don't we stop for that?" And the guys go, "No, you don't understand."
You don't really understand.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And this year, of course, we've got a 5-star hotel, which is really cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's about as much as I'll give you as far as where the venue is.
Okay. There we go. As much as the venues. Now the thing is, I mean, it's all booked. It's all done. Cannonball runs sort of next week. Next week, I think it begins. For people now who sit and go, "I've heard about Cannonball Run. I've seen the movie. I know this, that, and whatever. I want to get involved." And honestly, as we said earlier, it doesn't matter what you drive. Actually, the more unconventional and perhaps just cool or just different, and it doesn't matter whether you've got a Tata or whether you've got a Lamborghini, you still can come along, because it's all about having a lot of fun. How would they now sit and say, "Okay, well, I live in Durban, I'd like to do a Durban one, or I live in Cape Town, I'd like to do a Cape Town one, or I'd like to do the main one"?
Yeah. Well, obviously the entries for this year have closed. We do have one situation where we've got an entrant who's Sandy, who's lost her co-driver and vehicle. She's paid for the event, and now she's looking for a ride. So get dialing now. We'll put you in touch. But failing that, you can go onto the website. It's www.cannonballrun.co.za, and then the KZN, the Roundtable KZN event is taking place on the last weekend of October. Now, it's a slightly shortened version. It's a 2-day, 2-night event with a briefing evening the night before. And I've just done the routing about 3 weeks back with with Leon down in Durban, and that route is fantastic.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, so they can get involved in that one. Cape Town we run depending on the interest, and that's usually in March of every year.
Okay, well, listen, I've got Sandy's details, and I'll put them up on Twitter and Facebook or whatever. But that's a genuine. She actually mailed me last night and said, well, it's all paid, etc., but I don't have a car now or a driver, but I really want to go and just have a jaw.
She's done it 9 times, so getting her in the car is probably a good thing, because she knows her way around the clues and the way we think, so it's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing, trust me, especially when you've got 2 guys like Gary and Sasha trying to figure out a clue which is a little bit lateral and we're going.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Just one.
I see there's also a charity aspect to the whole thing, and last year you raised
well
375,000 Rand in money and products.
That's correct. One of the main reasons for starting the event, Roundtable obviously being a young man's charity organization, we wanted to create an event that would promote Roundtable.
It's like the Masons.
No, you know how to get my back up, don't you?
Sorry,
but,
it's a round table.
A round table. So what we tried to do through the event was to create a platform to promote Roundtable, because obviously most service clubs worldwide are suffering from membership, because we now live in an instant age. And then the second objective was to raise money for charity. And I got involved with Arrive Alive, or Roundtable did when we did the first one, and Ashraf Ishmael said to us he'll put his stamp of approval on it, provided that you support the Quad Para Association of South Africa.
Yep. Because
there's about 60% of all quad paras are caused due to motoring accidents. So it was a nice time. So that first year we raised 10,000 Rand. I gave 5,000 Rand to Ari at QASA, which is the acronym for Quad Para Association. And I got a phone call from him, most irate, saying, "Who the hell are you? How dare you give me 5 grand?" I'm going, "Whoa, hold on a second, China. I just gave you 5 grand. He said, no, I don't appreciate it. You putting 5 grand into my account. I don't know who you are, where you from, what it's about. I need you to come and see me." So I said, "Well, okay." I'm thinking this oak's got a bit of a cheek. So anyway, he says, I'm up in Joburg in a week's time. I want you to come to the hotel. I mean, he's not even going to come to me. I must go to him. So we go to him, and he says, "Right, tell me about this idea." So he says, "No, this is the idea." And he says, "Okay, fine. How much money do you need?" I said, "What do you mean, how much money do I need?" He says, "Well, how much money do you need to make this thing work?" So I said, "Well, it's a bit of an odd question coming from a charity, but I need about 50 grand worth of sponsorship." So he said, "Right, if you don't get the sponsorship, and I'll try and help you get it, I'll give you 50 grand. And I'm going,
wow.
No. There's something not right. I said, "Ari, are you running a Ponzi scheme or something?" So he says, No, I believe in this, and I believe that if I give you 50 grand back now, you'll give it back to me tenfold later on." Turns out that we never had to take 50 grand from him, and we've probably raised in excess of R1 million over the 10 years.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
So it's a wonderful story, and then the QASA, and the reason why he's like that is one of the very few charities I've come across where they say that they would like to delist as a charity. So what they do is they take the monies that are raised, they develop quad paras through education, and they also buy companies where they employ quad paras to run them and become self-sustainable.
Sure. Brilliant.
So it's a wonderful concept, and that's what Roundtable does, is try to support good charities and obviously promote Roundtable at the same time.
Yeah, which is always. I mean, I think the great thing about Cannonball Run is it's a hell of a lot of fun, but it does have that giving back.
Last year we gave a car. Last year we gave a car with all the training.
Well,
all the handhold things for them to learn how to drive, so that quad paras could become self-sustainable.
And it also amazingly, and I must say, I mean, from the experience that I had on it, and also quite a few of the people that I've met, there are people there who are so giving. Yes. Ross, I remember in the year that we had one guy in his company. They donated a whole antenatal wing to a down in what was
We're in Clarence.
it was in Clarence. It was in
we were at that
Bethlehem.
hospital in Bethlehem.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which is just extraordinary, and every night or on the gala evening you get fined for certain things or whatever, and all of that stuff all goes to charity as well. And people give very, very generously, which is wonderful to see.
There was a crowd there. I don't know if you remember Team Yellow. They
Oh,
called
yes.
all 10 mates. They're just random mates with their own private businesses. They stood up that night and they said, "We will give you a check next year for 100 grand, and we challenge anybody else." And you go, "Oh, you've had a couple to drink."
Yeah.
The next year, true as nuts, there they were with a check for 100,000 rand.
Incredible.
So yeah, the guys that come on the Cannonball Run, the roundtable crew that work on it, they give
Yes.
it their time up for free. It really is a fantastic event. It's kind of one of those events where you get value for money at the same time helping social awareness and projects. So yeah, it's a good one.
It is always a lot of fun. So we'll definitely, I mean, you're going over the whole course of the weekend, but when does it all start? What day?
Next week, Wednesday night.
Okay, good.
Okay, we do the briefing at Investment Cars in Bryanston. I dare say everybody's invited because I think we might get into some trouble there. But what I will do, Sash, is that through the Facebook page, the Cannonball Run Facebook page, so you can go like it now, hint hint. You can. I will release the venue for the first event on the Thursday morning at 7:30 in the morning. It will happen in the northern suburbs, so I can tell you that much, and it'll get underway at about 8:30. And it's something that we've never done before, and I've never actually seen it being done
Oh, brilliant.
in South Africa. And I do put a little cursor on that, and don't shoot me down if it has been done. But it is a sporting event. You'll get to see the event or stretch its legs a little bit. But I think you'll be surprised at who might come out and tops with that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be really exciting.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the caliber of cars. But what we'll do is, Ross, I'll definitely be in touch with you either Thursday or Friday during the course of the show, just to find out how things are going and where you guys are, so that, by that stage, people, they would be more sort of settled. And then the people of the area can get pretty excited about it.
Yeah, excellent.
It's always brilliant. It's a great, great initiative, Ross. Congrats on 10 years, my friend.
Thanks very much.
That's really, really brilliant. And to all of the Cannonballers who are going to be taking part in Cannonball Run 2012, enjoy a 10-year celebration. Good luck to everybody, and hope it goes off beautifully.
Thank you. Do you know anywhere I can go for a holiday afterwards?
Yeah, I'm sure we can find something for you. There we go. Ross Crichton, the organizer and founder of Cannonball Run in South Africa, together with the round table, joining us here this afternoon. I'll keep you updated, I promise you, next Thursday and Friday, and you'll have an opportunity to go and hopefully see some of these spectacular cars, and most probably some people in strange outfits as well. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks, Ross.
Gears on bulls.co.za with Sasha Martinengo.
He's kept himself out of trouble.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.